falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away, leave. Maybe we're a fan of the flame, so why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
Here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for E. I'm still battling with Kuba.
You said you don't know me well, but I'm your angel and white. I'll be close if you come. I'll be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voice as a guide. You give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you all.
But he's gone wide! Speedy's going incredible!
Ticket, you're doing alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it up to the light. So quiet, try to hide it. If a new thought formed, we would swallow it down. Empty stares, never question the illusion. If you play alone, they will leave you to drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment. And every fire starts with a spark. A revolution. Stand up. 'Cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment. And every fire starts with a spark. A revolution.
Hello, and welcome to FRLT season number 6. Yes, it is season number 6, and it is time for, as I guess you can see down below, the assists qualifiers. Oh my god, we only have this once every season, but I've got to say, I am so excited to see how this is going to go, especially, you know, we've got so many teams, we've got 22 teams for these qualifiers, so I'm very interested to see how this is going to go. Indeed, I'm very, very interested to see how this will go. Currently just waiting on a couple of drivers are having a couple of technical issues. So we are currently just waiting on them. So we are slightly late, just very slightly. It isn't too bad, but it means we can run through everything for today. At the moment, let me just go through the list. Give me a second. Let me find the list. So we have 3 lobbies for today. We've got the 7 p.m. lobby. We also have the 7:45 p.m. lobby, and we have the 8:30 p.m. lobby today. For this first lobby at 7 o'clock, we have LR, ICE, UFRT, TFR, TMS, ESPL, and Nero. Of course, Nero is UFRT, LR, and Nero are the only teams in this lobby that have actually raced before in FRLT. So we are just currently waiting. We are currently just waiting on one team, who aren't responding to me at the moment. So it looks like we might be going without them this evening, since they have not responded to anything. We'll just give this one last ping. So yeah, we are waiting on IC. So yeah, my apologies for being a little bit silent. So yeah, so we will get going very shortly. We will be having getting going very soon. But let's go through a couple of other things. We do have, of course, the lovely track maps return again. It is Monza, and it is 5.793 kilometers, 3.599 miles, 11 turns, 2 DS turns down the pit straight, and down that back straight between turn 7 and turn 8. I've got to say, we have a lot of stuff to get through today. We have a lot of drivers. I can tell you, we have 44 drivers that were submitted for lineups. We have 44 drivers that were submitted for lineups, and it is the highest we've ever had. So it is absolutely incredible. But we will currently, it's sad to see, but we will be going without ICE. We will be going without ICE currently. So it looks like we'll be down to just 7 teams. We'll be down to just 21 teams, and we haven't even gotten the first lobby underway. Absolute madness. But let's have a look at the calendar while we wait. So yeah, so we are getting underway very shortly. Yeah, so my apologies. I'm just being a bit slow. So this is the calendar. As you can see, the opening race. We've got the qualifiers, assists this evening on the 5th, and no assists on the 8th, so on Saturday. That has changed, by the way, for this season. No assists are now on Saturday nights. But looking at the calendar, we've got China, we've got Austria, we've got Imola, we've got Great Britain, and then Australia and Singapore. Sorry, just Australia then, to end off the first kind of half of the season. Just before Christmas, we'll end assists here on the 10th to end off 2025. And then we'll return on the 7th of January for Singapore, Monza, Brazil, Netherlands, Las Vegas, and Japan. But I can tell you now, we are getting into qualifying for the first time this evening, and it is going to be incredibly exciting to see. Don't mind the black screen. It should go away in a second. Hopefully in a second or two. And there we go. It's gone away. It's nicely gone away now. So, for tonight, we are down to 12 drivers in Lobby 1 now. We are down to just 12. But as you can see, it is Monza, it is midday, and it is clear. Hello, Shanners. Welcome to the stream. And it's going to be very, very interesting to see. Remember, guys, this is still basically... This is still going to be... there's still 6 teams, so there's still 12 drivers, so there's still 6 teams that could qualify from all of this. So we'll just be waiting to see. We've got some drivers, we've got some movement in the pits already. So now, as you can see, drivers are making their way round. Kimi is the first driver out of track for UFRT. Interesting to see them in a Ferrari. We've seen them, I think, in an Alpine before, and we've seen them in a Mercedes. Prediction of top 3 qualifier teams. I'm not sure, to be honest. I want to see how this first lobby goes, because I think it's a very stacked grid. Of course, 21 teams trying to fit into a 10, into basically a 10-car grid. That's essentially what it is. So I'm not entirely sure. So don't quote me on this. Who I think will qualify? I think at the moment, in this first lobby, I'll just say the first lobby, I think we'll probably see, I think most likely, just putting out there, most likely ESPL, and I'd probably say UFRT. I think they are probably the 2 most likely to qualify from this first lobby. But the first lap of the season is about to get underway, and it is with Oliver Marsner for Nero in the Aston Martin as he now makes his way down towards Turn 1, down this long pit straight with the DRS open, coming down at almost 220 miles per hour before reaching Turn 1, hard on the brakes, getting the car turned in quite smooth there, not taking huge amounts of curb, just a little bit off of the exit, but so far not too bad. Quite clean through the first 2 corners, now heading through turn number 3, into now the chicane, turn 4 and 5. You've got to get this hooked up right. Well, just about does it. No sliding through there. Quite interesting. I can see he's also got 4 laps of fuel on board. Throwing the car into Lesmo 1. Ooh, a little bit of oversteer. And into Lesmo 2. Very nice. Very, very difficult. Now, heading up. This is, I would say, personally, the hardest section on the entirety of Monza. And very nicely done by Oliver. There's too many teams. There might be too many teams. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying, based off of history. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying, okay? Just based off of what I know. But coming up to the line and across the line, what is Oliver going to set? It's going to be a 1 minute 18.324 for the first lap time of the evening. Very, very interesting to see. I think we've got a Red Bull that's crossing the line. Then Raphael goes even faster to go into a 1 minute 17.559. And a very good lap from himself. LR already pushing up there. Nico Rassenberg immediately beats that. Sorry, Nico Rassenberg did the 1 minute 17.559. Looking at the wrong person. I'm not sure what I'm up to today. But it's LK and Raphael Pesci goes into P2. And with a 1 minute 17.693. So I'd say pretty close at the moment. I'm looking back here and I'm looking at ESPL. got a decent enough gap. It's not close enough to be a slipstream. That's what I was thinking. Is it close enough to be counted as a slipstream? From that distance, I wouldn't say it's a slipstream since it's about 4 or 5 seconds gap. So, coming up to the line, where's Pedro going to go? He does a 1 minute 19.3. Not the best of first laps for himself as Potter comes into the pits. Finley is making his way round now. Let's see. How is he going to do when he crosses the line? 1 minute 17.9 already, jumping ahead of Zotic. So not too bad of a lap in the end. But you can see a lot of drivers into the 1 minute 17s. Already 6 out of the 8 drivers that have done laps to the 1 minute 17s. And literally I sent an announcement about cutting the track. But alright. We'll just ignore that for this evening. But yeah, very interesting to see LR coming out quite well in those first runs. P3 and P4. Same for TFR, P1 and P5. Surprisingly, very close between the top 2. Which is always very important in the qualifiers. It's always about sort of... Remember, guys, it's not about... The main thing to remember about qualifiers is that it's not about top. Just whoever goes fastest. It's not about one driver. It is about both drivers. But the difference is, it's not sort of... I don't mean it's about both drivers in, oh, they could be as good as each other. What I mean is, it's about both drivers because of one simple reason. Because you can't qualify if one driver does badly and one does well. So, who knows? Who knows, to be honest. It's one of those ones where where it's just about having overall good teamwork. But Kimi is on another lap again. And like I said before, it's so weird seeing UFRT in a Ferrari. Yeah, it's very, very... I'm not used to seeing UFRT in a Ferrari. But making their way around, what does Kimi do for first sector? 25.9. Not too bad. It's a high 9 though, so not too bad. We got Mask in 12th, still without a lap. Nemi, Kimi, and Carpotter all without laps so far. But Carpotter and Mask are both on out laps at the moment. And so, as we watch Kimi on his lap, he does a 51.999 for that middle sector. Very, very close to a 52. But not looking too bad on his lap so far. The Ferrari looking pretty... I have to say, even for Ferrari... Not even for Ferrari, but even for sort of, I think, most teams on this year's game, that Ferrari is looking pretty stable. It's looking very stable through the corners. It looks stuck to the ground, and across the line, it's on 18.1, so not as stuck to the ground, but in the end, solid enough lap to go P7, and to be honest, still within range. Could easily get P3 with just sort of 2-3 tenths in there. Could easily get that P3 and get into the top 3 and back up his teammate further. We've got Carpotter going round. ESPL not in the best of places at the moment. About a second off with Pedro in 9th. So they are lacking very far behind. The default lap time, if you don't set a lap, is 1 minute 23. If you don't set a lap time, it is 1 minute 23. If you don't set a lap time, it becomes a 1 minute 23 to base your time off of, or if your second driver doesn't turn up. And it's an invalidation from Carpotter there. So not a great run there. And again, another invalidation to his weekend. We look back to Mask, who's done a 25.7, which is quite a bit quicker than Kimi, to be fair. About 2 tenths in there. So Nero looking like they've got a little bit of pace behind them. Looking like they're a bit closer to the grid than they were when they raced back in Season 3. They were actually... This is the interesting thing about Nero. They were officially, based off of time from front to back of the grid, they were the team furthest off for the pack on average. But they still scored more points than other teams as Mask goes P3 to a 17.824, finding 15 thousandths over LK. It's getting quite toasty now between everybody because everyone's getting a bit closer to each other. We've got Raphael, we talk about, an LR. Here, it's an LR driver on a lap at the moment. Currently 6 tenths down, and I think that will be it for his lap. I don't think he's pushing. No, he's not. He's not pushing at all. I don't blame him not for pushing. But Zotic is on his way round. He's had to navigate a bit of traffic. He had a Ferrari and a McLaren to get round. And across the line, it's a 10th found, and it's up to P5 for Zotic. So into that area again, a lot of drivers finding themselves into that sort of area. Nemi is making his way round. We've got Finley, who's also making his way up to the line. Then we've got Raphael, who's also going to be going for, I think, another lap, probably. We've got Oliver, who's making his way around. Then we've got Pedro. Then we have Mask, who's slowly going around, who's done with his lap. And it's Nico Rassenberg, who's on another fast lap. He's only up by 4 thousandths on his time, based off of his best so far. So at the moment, Nico Rassenberg not finding all the time he wants to find, and currently sitting down. He's in first, but it's not a huge amount of time he's found to get ahead of Pesci at the moment. But across the line, he improves by a 10th and goes to a 1 minute 17.458, finding even more time in his lap. The next driver across the line is his opponent, the driver who is closest to him, Pesci, who isn't improving so far based off of his middle sector. So he's gone a little bit slowly on this run. Are we going to see Pesci come in? No. Is he going for another run? No. He does improve by 700ths when he crosses the line, so he's only lost about 300ths there. LK goes P3 into a 0.6 as well, so a couple of drivers getting a little bit close to that 0.6. We've got Nemi making his way around. He's slightly quicker than what we saw Kimi doing, so we'll see across the line. He goes P8 into a 17.9. I don't think he's too happy with that lap in the end. We've got Finley, who's coming up the line, improving by a 10.5. As Finley goes P2, finds 3/10 in the end. And an incredible lap there from himself. I think Raphael also found about another 10th in his time as well. So a couple of drivers finding some lap time. And there goes Pedro into an 18.1. So he's still a bit off, only ahead of Kimi and Oliver. But it's P9 for the moment. And that's where he'll be right now. I think we've got a slow Red Bull on his way around. That is Nico Rassenberg. I'm looking to the next car. Whoever is on a lap. LK. I think we do have a Mercedes on a fast lap, do we? No, we don't. We don't have a Mercedes on a fast lap at the moment. Not at all. We don't have a fast Mercedes. Apologies. I just had to click off quickly. Interesting one. The only driver I think who is on a fast lap is Car Potter at the moment. He's pushing quite a bit. Let's see whether he can do this or not. He needs to have this pace behind him this evening. Car Potter really needs to push. Currently P9 and P12. They're not looking great on pace. And across the line, he does an 18.1 and goes exactly 1,000th slower than his teammates. So at the moment, they're sitting at a 1 minute 18.139.5. A 0.5, half a thousandth of a second. That's where they're sitting. But that currently, by the way, would be slower than almost every other team. They currently, I'm just going to say this now, currently, they would be exactly last, actually. They would be last in the teams at the moment. So, ESPL are not having the best of qualifiers so far. P9 and P10. Not looking like the best of runs they've had so far. So there's a lot to work on there, but at the moment they're kind of in the battle with Nero, really. The main thing is, for Nero, if Oliver can improve by half a second, they're into a 17.8 on average, which would be quicker than TMS. So they just jumped TMS. They'd also get ahead of... They'd also be around that same point of UFRT and LR. So altogether at the moment, it's looking like out of the first lobby, we'll be having TFR on top out of the first lobby with a 17.5 as an average. And then we look like then we'll be getting LR in second. As now, Oliver Masner starts the lap. Let's ride on board for the final time. He's on his final run. Ferrari stays out of the way as it comes out of the pits. Heading through the first 2 corners. And again, he's kind of very much the same through those first 2 corners. Almost an identical line. A little bit better though. He didn't lose as much grip, so we'll have to see whether he's going to find as much pace. He's also put in less fuel, and he's already up by 58 thousandths in the first sector. So clearly the fuel, not 4 laps of fuel, only 1.4 laps of fuel now. Clearly coming in handy, finding him that little bit of time. Just that 58 thousandths, which isn't going to improve his position. He'll still be 12th and last out of this session. But we'll have to see what he does through his middle sector. He's only up by 72 thousandths. He's not finding a lot of time at the moment in his lap. He is going to go to an 18.2, but still that leaves Nero at risk of being last out of the first lobby. And that's really where you don't want to be. There's 21 teams currently who are competing now with ICE not doing the qualifiers. Now Oliver comes in. He's done with his lap, and I think that he's probably done with his qualifiers as well. But we've got Kimi next, who's coming round. He's P11. He's very much in the same position as kind of Oliver, that he needs to pick up the pace here. He needs to find maybe 2-3 tenths to secure UFRT in a decent time, in, rough, decent time. A little bit deep through turn 1 and turn 2. The Ferrari not turning in too nicely. We've watched a lot of these Ferraris going around, but they've been going around quite a lot in quite a nice order. But Kimi needs to find a lot of time. He needs to improve this final lap for a chance. He's down by 75 thousandths in his first sector. I was looking at the data sheets. Yes, this is Jamie. This is lobby 1 for qualifiers. But you can see, is Kimi pushing still? I'm not sure. No, he's not. He has backed off on his lap. He's done with his lap now. But the next driver is Raphael, who's up already. Is it? Who is next? It is Raphael, who's up by 95 thousandths in his first sector. So he's finding that little bit of time. Exactly what LR need to do. They're in a good position at the moment. They're finding themselves nicely in the lap time. They're very close as teammates, which helps, of course. They find themselves in about a 17.6. It's about high 17.6 at the moment. Up by 0.2 of a second at the moment from Raphael. He could really be challenging here for the top time this evening. Could we be seeing in lobby 1 LR go number 1? We saw with ABE last season. They topped out the qualifiers by a shocking 0.3 of a second. But let's see, across the line, Raphael improves by 2.5 tenths. And look at that! 0.02 off of Nico Rassenberg. Incredibly close. Absolutely incredibly close. And across the line, Pedro goes P7. He finds 0.3, and that's an improvement that he needed to make there. As Nico Rassenberg finishes, he does not improve on his lap. Next, we've got Zotic coming around. He's currently not improving on his lap. Oliver and Nico Rassenberg are done with their qualifiers, as Zotic stays in P8. Then we've got the other Mercedes of Nemi, who goes P3 into a 17.5. Good challenge there. Then Mask goes into a 0.4 for P3. It is now down to these last couple of drivers. We've got Kimi, who's making his way around now. We've seen already an incredible 5 drivers have already finished. 6 more drivers left to finish their laps here. We've got a slow car out on track as Kimi goes to P8. He improves. He needed that improvement here. Is Pesci improving enough? We're going to have to see as he comes up to the line. Will he improve his lap? No, he won't. That's the end of his qualifying. LK across the line goes to P5 and jumps 2 drivers. Then we've got Raphael. He's not improving on his lap. He's had a slow lap, and that is him done. Then I think we've just seen Carl Potter come across the line. And then finally we have Finley, who's coming across the line as well. And I believe that is everyone, because Pedro is slowly crawling round. And that is Lobby 1. Over and finished. All done now. Lobby 1 finished. At the moment, that was not a good end for sort of one of the teams of UFRT. Not good. P7 and P8 in the 1 minute 17.7s at the moment from when I just looked now, from what I saw, from a glimpse of the lap times. 1 minute 17.7 at the moment. And it would be about 1 minute 17.7 in lap times. So not too great. But Nico Rassenberg is fastest, followed by Raphael, Mask, Nemi, half a 57,000 splitting the top four. Then LK, Finley, Pesci, Kimi, Pedro, Zotic, Carpotter, and Oliver. That is the entire grid. But so far, I've got to say, it's pretty close. I'm not sure. Based off of my maths, it would currently be LR on top, based off of my maths. So, don't fully trust my maths, but that is currently what it would be based off of. So that is done for lobby number 1. That's lobby 1 over and done with. And very interesting to see. Very, very interesting to see this evening. I mean, I did not expect to see LR come out on top in that first lobby, but you can see the lap times were quite varied from lobby 1 to lobby, from each lobby. It was varied. It was very varied in its pace. But yeah, very interesting nonetheless. So it's time to set up the second lobby. I create a whole new lobby, by the way, for each lobby. I create a whole different lobby because we had problems with that last season at the start of this game, and I don't want to do that, so I'm just creating a whole new lobby, and we'll just do that a couple of times over. We'll do that for the 3 lobbies. We might also be having reruns this evening, so if anybody's interested about staying around quite late, the reruns will be there for teams and for you guys if you want to watch the reruns. At the moment, I think the rerun time is set to be 9 PM for that lobby. Gives us about 15 minutes from the previous lobby. But yeah, so if any of you guys want to watch that, make sure to stick around. But we've got another 2 lobbies after that. After this first lobby, I cannot believe we've got another 2 coming in very, very soon. We just got to get everyone in. We will go to a break in a few minutes, but I've got to say that first lobby, very intriguing to see from that first lobby. I'm very intrigued to see from that first lobby that how it went. It was very interesting. Very, very interesting from the first lobby on how that went. Nobody got into any incidents, which is actually, I think, a first for qualifiers. We usually have a lot of problems when it comes down to contact and crashes, but everybody stayed very far away from each other. So in the end, not too bad for this evening. But we're going to go to a short break, and we'll be back in about 9 minutes' time at 7:40. We'll return just 5 minutes before, and we'll go and we'll run through everything that we've seen, and then we'll head into lobby number 2. See you in a bit.
Feel like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away, leave. Maybe we're fanning the flame. So why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls.
here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for E. I'm still battling with Kuba.
You said you don't know me well, but I'm your angel in white. I'll be close if you come, I'll be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voice as a guide. You give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you all.
But he's gone wide! Speedy's going incredible!
Ticket, you're doing alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it up to the light. So quiet, try to hide it. If a new thought formed, we would swallow it down. Empty stares, never question the illusion. If you play alone, they will leave you to drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution.
Feel like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away and leave. Maybe we're fanning the flame, so why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
Here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for E. I'm still battling with Kuba.
be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voices that guide you. You give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you a
But he's gone wide! He's going incredible!
Ticket, you're doing alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it up to the light. So quiet, try to hide it. If a new thought formed, we would swallow it down. Empty stares, never question the illusion. If you play alone, they will leave you to drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment. And every fire starts with a spark. A revolution. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment. And every fire starts with a spark. A revolution.
Feel like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away and leave. Maybe we're fan and flame. So why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
Here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for E. I'm still battling with Kuba.
You said you don't know me well, but I'm your angel in white. I'll be close if you come. I'll be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voices that guide you. You give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you a
But he's gone wide! He's going incredible!
Ticket, you're doing alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it up to the light. drown.
And we are back. Yes, we are back. We're going to get underway very shortly. We've currently got 8 out of the 14 drivers. We're just waiting on a couple of people for the moment. We're now up to 10. So we've gotten a couple of the last few. We're just waiting on 4 drivers now. Because, yeah, we are just waiting on 4 drivers right now. So we've almost got everyone in. So we should have everyone in very shortly. And then we should be good to go. Roughly on time. A little bit late, but roughly about on time, which is a plus. It is a plus, actually, to be roughly on time this week. It's very rare for us to be roughly on time. But yeah, we're pretty close, so that's not too bad. Yes, so we're just waiting on 2 people to join. If I have a look, who are we waiting on? We are waiting on 1 OMB, which I know about, and we're also waiting on another one. We're also waiting on an Alpine. So we're waiting on an Alpine, which would be an AVR. We are waiting on an AVR right now. To get into the lobby. So at the moment I'll just do the ticking off of which teams are in and which teams aren't. Pretty much everyone is in, so that's a plus. So I'm just quickly cycling through it. I think yep, so we're only missing at the moment 2 drivers from 2 teams, so at the moment, pretty much everyone's good to go. So we are just waiting on another one. I haven't received anything yet in invite-wise. Unless I'm being blind, which is very possible. I'm usually like this when I've got any invites I've got to look at. Has anybody added me on here? Has anyone added me? Add a friend, pending invites? No. And finally, the final person is in now, so we can do that. So everyone is in, which is very nice, which is not the usual that we have, so I have to say that is a plus. So let's just have one last look at the track map. As you can see, it is Monza, 5.793 kilometers, 3.599 miles. Yeah, so that's what we've got for this evening. As you can see, 11 turns, 2 DRS zones as well. Quite a decently flat track, not a huge amount of elevation, especially throughout Sector 1 and Sector 3, quite flat as a track. It's rather flat as a track. So it's not too bad. quite simple. Here's the calendar for this season. We've got the qualifiers today and no assist qualifiers on the 8th. The dates on the left, 12, 19, 26, so on, going down, are for assists, and the dates on the right-hand side, like 15, 22, and 29, are, for instance, for no assists. So, of course, we've got China on the 12th, so next week we go to China, then Austria, Imola, Great Britain, Australia, then we have Christmas, then we go to Singapore in January. We have almost a month away with 28 days away from any racing, and then we return in Singapore, then Monza, then Brazil, then the Netherlands, then to end out our season in February, we'll have Las Vegas and Japan. We have finally reached this second lobby. We have reached the second lobby of the evening. Everything should be correct, so I'm quite interested to see how everybody's going to do. So it's a long evening. Drivers have a lot to go off of. They've got a lot to do. 18 minutes. We're already down to about 17 minutes and 30 seconds remaining already. They've already lost 30 seconds in this session, and already we have a car on their way out. It is Alexander Esposito who is on his way out. SCT heading out first. The teams in this lobby, I'll just say for everybody's sake, are SCT in the lovely. Let me look at the lobbies because I'm being dumb and I'm not looking at the lobbies. It is VR in the Mercedes, OMB in the Red Bull, AVR in the Alpines. It is ALMS in the Ferrari. It is SCT in the Williams, JSR in the Aston, and SKG in the lovely car of the McLaren. Last lobby, we didn't get to see Alpine, we didn't get to see a Williams, we didn't get to see Alpine either, so we've actually got 2 new cars being used in this second session. We've got 2 new cars being used in this second session, so that's quite interesting to see that we've got a couple of new cars being used, but a couple of cars already coming out onto the track for their first runs. I'm interested to see how it is going to go for tonight. I am very interested to see how it's going to go. Just give me a quick second. I do apologise. I'm having to respond to something very quickly. And done. And there we go. It is actually, by the way, we've got a full lobby here, all 7 teams. But for now, we're going to ride on board with Alexander Esposito for SCT this evening. Let's see how he's going to do. DRS Open, that rear wing heading all the way down this long pit straight, one of the longest on the calendar, highest top speed, and braking for turn 1. Ooh, little bit of a snap there, maybe just turning in a bit too early, maybe notice that onto the curb. Not the best of first corners, the first chicane, not the best that we've seen this evening. Of course, we saw a 17.4 was the best of last session of the first lobby. First lobby saw 17.4 as the pole time. That was the quickest. So we're going to have to see, are they going to reach that here in lobby number 2? Will they reach that in lobby 2 or not? We saw last season in the qualifiers, teams did not beat that first lobby's times. So is that curse going to continue? Maybe, maybe not. We saw it in, I think we also saw it in Season 2, I believe, as well. We also saw that in Season 2. The first lobby was ultimately the quickest lobby. But heading to the final corner now, it's not been the smoothest of laps from Alexander. He's going to be hoping for a 17, but most likely we're going to see an 18. But no, we see a 17.783 to start off qualifying. Not too bad of a lap time, quite fast already. Robbie has invalidated, so he's going to head in now. So he is done with his lap. We have Sander coming round next, of course, for SKG. He's on the medium tyres, though, and he goes to an 18.2. So already not bad on mediums. I've got to say, on medium tyres is a strange one. Something that only goes into P2 with an 18.1 on those soft tyres, so not the best of first runs from himself. We've seen better first runs in Lobby 1, but a lot of times are roughly about this. Yannick Casares has gone rather slowly, so of course he's going to cross the line with the slowest time altogether. As FRT Caden finds a bit more time. He finds that a bit more time in that Mercedes for VR as he goes into a 17.762. We just saw Just Hood go into P3 with a 17.9. Times differing quite heavily. As Alvaro Marquez for OMB goes into a 17.604. Finding over a 10th more over Caden. And it looks like OMB really pushing for some fast times this evening. At the moment, it's predicted roughly about a 1 minute 17.6 is qualifying times. That's roughly what we're looking at the moment. LR currently sitting at a high 17.6 to a low 17.7 as the quickest average at the moment. So to be at the top end of the grid, you've got to be in those 0.7s. Nobody else reached that other than LR and TFR in that first lobby. So interesting to see, very interesting to see this evening. But there's a lot going on, a lot of drivers out on track, a lot of people going around. Next is Tracer making his way round. Let's see what he can do. It looks like a solid lap so far for AVR. What's it going to be across the line? It is going to be P2, and it is a very solid lap. 17.638. Zotic follows behind with a 17.732. Saucing in ahead of Caden. Lots of drivers on laps at the moment. We've got Flipstream. Across the line, he's done a 47. Unbelievable. Ace does an 18.7. So far, the slowest times, realistically, the slowest times of Lobby 1 have already been beaten. We were in the 1 minute 19s earlier for first lap times. As we can see, is there anybody on a lap at the moment? The closest driver, I think, on a lap is Melwin. But he's going slowly, so he's not going very quickly at the moment. We've got Robbie, who's doing another lap. So let's watch with Robbie. 25.9, by the way, for that first sector. That's not bad on medium tyres. Between the 25.9s. At the moment, remember, that default time is a 1 minute 23. So if you don't get in a lap time, or there's only one driver for the team, you only get a 1 minute 23. And if you don't turn up with, I think, a second driver, it's, I think, half a second penalty to your team as well for their overall lap time. So you'll get basically a quarter of a second added onto both lap times. So it does not help to be pushed back even further. It does not help to lose another half a second in lap time, by the way. You basically lose another half a second in your total lap time. But across the line, Robbie improves to P8 as he goes into an 18.1. Quite good, actually, for on the medium tyres. Very good. I can see another 4/10. So we could definitely... Whoa! I'm not sure where he's off to, and into the wall is where Robbie's off to, actually. Very strange. Very strange. Somebody just crossed the line. That was Sander who crossed the line, who just went up to P9, I think. Or he is just going on his lap now. Let's watch on board with Sander. Bit of a lock-up into turn 1 and through turn 2. Quite nice, but still that lock-up, losing a bit of time. We know SKG needs some decent laps here. At the moment, they're looking at about a 17.9, which is roughly about 2/10 off of where you should be. 2/10 up, though, in the first sector from Sander, so might not be any worries in the end. But still, that 17.7 is roughly about where some people are saying a cutoff. Possibly, at the moment, cutoff is predicted. It's predicted to be a 17.8 is cutoff, and currently the fastest average has been a 17.7 to a high 6. Can't remember which one it is. I think it is a 17 point. I think it's a 17.6, but it's a high 6. So at the moment, it's roughly sitting about that much. So It is very close at the moment between everybody, and that's the Ferrari that's gone round there. So a yellow flag in that final corner, mistake to be seen, and up by 4/10 and into P6. A lot closer now, and that would be a 17.8. Just teetering on that 17.8. But it's not too bad for a first lap. Not too bad at all for a first lap. Well, not for a first lap, but for a lap altogether. Helps SKG. We've seen it with a couple of teams. Some teams seem to be a lot closer to each other on an average. But you've got Just Hood making his way around now through the first chicane. JSR need a couple of big laps here, to be honest. Looking at 1 minute 18.0 as an average, that's about 2-3 tenths off of what's said to be cut off at the moment, at least about 2 tenths per second, and he is down by 1.5 in his first sector, so not been a good first sector so far, unless he can find maybe a tenth or two in the next sector. We'll have to see very shortly. There looks like there might already be some reports against some teams, as there goes Just Hood off the track, and I don't think he is pushing anymore, unless maybe he is. I don't think he is. He isn't pushing, I don't think, anymore, as he invalidates anyway. So that is his lap done. Simone Equestre coming round, almost up by 0.3 of a second in his lap. That's going to send him to about P6 at the moment, possibly up to P5 if he finds a little bit more time in this final sector. But that's really going to help OMB. Going to slot them nicely into a 17.6, 17.7, roughly that top side of the grid, with still some runs to go as well. So that's exactly what they need. And across the line, it's going to be a 17.768 from Simone Equestre. And in the end, not bad. Simon getting in a pretty decent lap there. Not too bad from Simon. I've got to say, that wasn't too bad of a lap. And that's actually really helped out his teammate as well. Not so much pressure on his teammate now to get in a good lap. Now it's not as much pressure for, of course, Alvaro to put in an incredibly strong fast lap now. It's just about getting across the line and improving those few bits. And across the line, Melwin goes into P9, as now Caden finds a 17.5 as he goes to a 17.550. Not bad. Oh my god. Sorry guys, sneezing. I'm not sure why. I think we saw Tracer as well come across the line into P3. I do believe. I think we just saw that. Or he's just starting his lap. Alexander just crossed the line. He improved a bit as well. We just saw that from himself. Zotic is pushing hard. We got Yannick Asaris, who's improved a bit, but he's on an 18.0, by the way, on the dot. So at the moment, as it stands, they're sitting... SET are sitting on that elimination zone. They're very much sitting a bit close to the elimination zone. Not where you'd really want to be. I believe we're seeing Robbie on another fast lap here. He's on another fast lap. On the soft tyres this time. So he did an 18.1 on the mediums. Let's see, what can he do on the softs? Of course, his teammate has done 17.9. He's only up by 8 thousandths of a second as he invalidates. And that is a bit of disappointment. But there is another driver on a lap. It is an ALMS driver. There's an ALMS... I can't even say it. ALMS driver. Has making his way round. Let's see what he can do. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock in lobby number 2. Let's see what he can do. We're only a few minutes late at the moment, so it's not looking too bad. So I have to say, timing wise, hasn't been too bad, but it's a 21.4 from him, and it looks like ALMS will be currently the slowest team so far in the qualifiers. It does look like that. They are looking like they're going to be sitting in a 1 minute 20, even though Flipstream is upping by about 0.7 of a second. There's a Red Bull in the wall there. That looks like to be Alvaro Marquez, who's in the wall. Even though he improves by 0.7 to a 1 minute 19.226, still 1 minute 20s So at the moment, ALMS can pretty much count themselves outside of chance of qualifying. I'm not being mean here, but generally they can. I think we also missed Tracer coming across the line. Or Racer. Trapped Racer. I don't know. I'm just going to say Tracer out of the chance, or Racer. I'm going to say one of the two. Into a 17.570, by the way. We missed him going 200 slower than Caden. So, at the moment, still, I've got to say, before the final runs, we were already in the 1 minute 17.4s in Lobby 1. So, at the moment, it's looking pretty interesting. But the bad thing at the moment for the team of VR is that they've got one driver in the 17. They've got one driver in the 1 minute 17.5. But their other driver is in a 1 minute 18.087. So at the moment, it would stand at roughly about a 7. A 1 minute 17.7 to 1 minute 17.8. So again, they're dancing with that line. OMB look a bit stronger. They look like they're going to be into about the 1 minute 17.6s potentially. I'll have to figure it out. But after this lobby finishes, well, after all the lobbies finish, I'll roughly figure out where they've gone. Because at the moment, they would be roughly in about 1 minute 17.6. And by my count, that's quickest so far out of the first two lobbies. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch, to be honest, is whether OMB will be quickest. SKG as well up there. They're in about the 1 minute 17.7s, 0.8. So they're still in that that sort of risky zone slightly when it comes down to lap time. You can see an absolute massive traffic jam of cars just coming out. Massive, just line of them. We've got, I think, 5 cars have just come out onto the track. But Flipstream up by 17 thousandths in his first sector. So he's finding a little bit more time. He's going to go to a even lower 0.2, but it's not enough. At the moment, he'd need half a second just to go into P12, and that is Ace being quite far off. Same kind of problem for AVR as Flipstream now invalidates his lap. But it's kind of the same problem for AVR. They've got Tracer in P2 on a 17.5. And then they've got Ace on an 18.7, a 1.2 second gap. Bring that down by 0.6. So add on 0.6 basically to Tracer's time, and that's into an 18.1. That would be out in qualifiers. So AVR might just miss out purely because of that. But we've got Sander on his lap now. He improved a lot on his second run. He's going to have to do that again. All drivers are currently out on track, although I do believe Flipstream is coming into the pits. So I think that's the end of qualifying for Flipstream and for one of the ALMS drivers. But Sander is up by 6 thousandths in his first sector. Not going to gain him many positions, but just finds an extra 6 thousandths. Middle sector is going to be very important. He needs to get this middle sector right. We've seen a couple of drivers have some problems with track limits through this middle sector. But I have to say, it hasn't been too much of a problem as... Oh, no! Sander has invalidated. At the moment, Jamie, I'm not sure what lap time is needed. I'm not sure what lap time is needed at all. Yeah, I'm not sure. But we got Yanni Casares on a lap, but that looks like that's it for... I'm pretty sure that is now it for the man of Sander. He's into the pits, and it looks like his session is done. So Sander and Flipstream are done. This is the end of qualifying. This is it. There's a slow Mercedes in the middle sector, so that looks like another car is done. Can Yanni Casares move off of this 18.0? Can he improve? He needs to improve because at the moment, SET are in the danger zone. And across the line, he does improve. He goes to a 17.7, exactly what he needed. Exactly what his team needed. Zotic coming up to the line next. He's improving as well. Zotic goes fastest to a 17.5. What a lap. What a lap indeed. Ace is coming up to the line as well. Ace improves to an 18.1. That could just save their chances this evening. Caden comes up to the line. Caden! 17.594. Simon also goes into P4. Very strong lap time. He goes into P4. I've got to say, what a lap for himself. As you can see, both JSR drivers come into the pits in the end. And that is that. Who else is on track? Alvaro has invalidated though, and that's him done. And I think that is very much the end to qualifying. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. It is VR on top, but realistically in average lap time, from my count, it is OMB, who are at a 1 minute 17.603.5 on average. Currently, OMB, from my count, are first after Lobby 2, and pretty much 90% of the time after being first in a lobby, you pretty much know you should be fine. But it is Caden on top followed by Zotic, Tracer, Simone, Alvaro, Alexander, Yannick Sara, Sander, Just Hood, Melwin, Ace, Robbie, Flipstream, and Haztaz. So we will be having our next lobby coming up very, very shortly. But what an end. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. But yeah, absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy what I've just seen. To be honest, absolutely mental. I did not expect to see Lobby 2 to be that close. If I'm being completely honest with you, I did not think Lobby 2 was going to be that close. I thought it was going to be a lot further apart. But yeah, essentially, it's a tough one there. Very close. I think again, this second lobby has proven how close everyone is. A lot of teams in those 17.7 and 17.8s. I mean, I think we've gotten away with 2 teams now who've reached the 17.6s. So I think 3 teams now in total. But just like we did last time, that is Lobby 2 over. And we will be heading on to Lobby 3 very shortly. And we will be going back to our lovely trailer. And I will see you guys in roughly about 10 minutes time. About 10 to 15 minutes time.
Feel like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away, leave. Maybe we're fan and flame. So why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
Here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for E. I'm still battling with Kuba.
be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voices that guide you. You give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you
But he's gone wide! He's going incredible!
Take it, you're doing alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it up to the light. So quiet, try to hide it. If a new thought formed, we would swallow it down. Empty stares, never question the illusion. If you play alone, they will leave you to drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment. And every fire starts with a spark. A revolution. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment. And every fire starts with a spark. A revolution.
Feel like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away and leave. Maybe we're fanning the flame, so why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can't hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can't hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
Here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for Eve. And still battling with Kuba.
You said you don't know me well, but I'm your angel in white. I'll be close if you come, I'll be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voices that guide you. You give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you all.
But he's gone wide! He's going incredible!
Take it, you're doing alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it up to the light. drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution.
Feel like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away and leave. Maybe we're fan and flame. So why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
Here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for E. And still battling with Kuba.
You said you don't know me well, but I'm your angel in white. I'll be close if you come, I'll be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voices, I'll guide you. You give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you a
But he's
hard
gone
cold
wide!
goodnight.
Speedy's
Baby,
going
hang on to your
incredible!
ticket, you're doing alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it up to the light. So quiet, try to hide it. If a new thought formed, we would swallow it down. Empty stares, never question the illusion. If you play alone, they will leave you to drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every fire starts with a spark. A revolution. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the moment, and every
like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away and leave. Maybe we're fanning the flame, so why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
Here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for Eve. And still battling with Kuba.
You said you don't know me well, but I'm your angel in white. I'll be close if you come. I'll be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voices that guide you. Give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you all.
But he's gone wide! He's going incredible!
Take a trip to win, alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it.
Hello, we return for the final lobby. Lobby 3 of 3. Here tonight. 8 teams in this final lobby. Let's just give you a little reminder of who is going to be where we are. We're at Monza in Italy, 5.793 kilometers, 3.599 miles, 11 turns, and 2 DRS zones down the pit straight and down that back straight. Not a lot of elevation on this track, as you can see on the track map. Basically almost no elevation at all. So, very little. So, we have 16 drivers for this evening's lobby. So, we are waiting on some people. So, I'm just going to go through, I'm just going to be ticking off the list at the moment for who is in the lobby and who isn't in the lobby. Because, of course, there's always some people who are missing. EVR are in. NXR are also in. I see both Ferraris, so we've also got another team in. I don't see both PRs in. I see both PEC drivers are in. And I only see one Red Bull for the moment. Both AZR drivers are in as well. And both TDR drivers have also arrived. Also noticed that AERT are also fully in. I was just one hadn't chosen a car. That was all it was. So at the moment we are just waiting on PR. We're just waiting on PR for their other driver, for their second driver, and then we will be getting underway for this final lobby. We might be having a rerun. I'm not sure as of yet. We might be having a rerun lobby, which will be at about 9 o'clock. So, of course, if there is a rerun, then if there is a rerun that needs to be done, well, there's a rerun then. So we are going to get underway very, very shortly, in about 2 minutes' time. We've currently got 15 drivers in out of the 16. Let's have one little look at the calendar. China is the opening race of the season for both assists and no assists. The dates on the left-hand side, so like the 12th, 19th, and 26th, going all the way down, are for assists, and the dates on the right, 15th, 22nd, 29th, and so forth, are all for no assists. So assists, so next week we've got China, Austria, Imola, Great Britain, and Australia before we have our Christmas break. Then we go to Singapore, Monza, Brazil, Netherlands, Las Vegas, and Japan to end off the season in 2026. Qualifiers, and of course, ultimately, no assists has changed from Fridays to Saturday evenings. Still at 8 p.m. Everything's still at 8 p.m. So there's no changes there. But everybody is now in, so I think we can. It's safe to say that we can get underway. So I've just got to absolutely ping everyone. So let's have a look. There's a lot of people to ping. There's a lot of teams to ping here. My apologies. And yeah, so we are going to be getting underway very shortly. We're actually pretty much exactly on time as well. We're exactly on time this evening, which is a first. It's the first time we are actually on time. So that's a new one, being on time. But yeah, we are getting into it. Of course, it's another 18-minute qualifying session. All 8 teams are here. Only one team hasn't turned up for qualifiers, and that was ICE in the first lobby. They were supposed to be in the Williams. They weren't, so we're down to just 21 teams, but we've got all 21 teams competing, the most we've ever had. I think last season we had 24 teams sign up, only 20 actually race, so interesting to see. But we're getting into it, and I will bring you guys the on-track details very soon. As you can see, we are in 16 drivers, very full lobby. We've gotten 12 drivers in lobby 1, 14 drivers in lobby 2, and now 16 in lobby 3. What was the poll last lobby? In lobby 2, it was a 0.4. It was, I think, a mid 0.4 we got. And in lobby 1, it was a low point. I think it was a 0.3. We got a high 0.3 or a low 0.4. So, ultimately, a lot of lap times very close to each other. Already cars come out onto the track to start off the evening. Oh, Janus Mayboom is out onto the track. Of course, he's been quite consistent. But this is, I think a lot of people have mentioned this, but and a lot of people said this before qualifiers, because I was speaking to a couple of managers and stuff and a couple of drivers, and they all were like, this third lobby is going to be the decider for who gets in and who doesn't. Because we've currently gone through 13 teams in the first 2 lobbies. We've gone through 13 teams in the first 2 lobbies, which isn't too bad. It was meant to be 14, but 13, which means only 3 teams miss out. But with another 8 teams, means a total of 21 teams. So we're going to have to find out. ALMS I can currently tell you that ALMS are currently last and 13th in the qualifiers. I can tell you that. They were altogether slowest, so they are currently 13th and last. So we'll have to see how these teams do, but this is probably going to be the fastest lobby. In qualifiers history, in the last 3 qualifiers that we've held, we haven't had anybody beat the pole in the first lobby. We haven't seen anybody beat the total team time after the first lobby. But let's see. AZR making their way round. And with Janus Mayboom not too bad through the first 2 corners. Not too bad so far running on board with the Janus Mebom. You can see quite a bit of traffic in that far sector. A lot of drivers coming out. 25.916 is the first lobby. Of course, Janus Mebom has gone for those medium tyres as well. So he's gone for that slightly slower tyre. He's trying to get a little bit more running on the softs. You can see sliding through the first Lesmo. Let's see. Down this, well, down under the old track, or also the bridge, underneath the old circuit. It's a 51.7 for that middle sector. So he's already very fast, already into about the 1:17s for pace on the medium tyres. But let's see. Can AZR set a very fast time? I do suspect we are going to see AZR put in a pretty fast time, and especially with Janus Mebom here, we know he's very fast in qualifying. And across the line, it's a 1:17.641 to start off qualifying. Whoa, already very fast to begin the evening. Then we've got Jamie coming round, of course. Got Jamie making his way round in for Peck. He does an 18.0, not really that close. Jonas does also an 18.0 when he crosses the line. Fishley can only do an 18.3, so a couple of poorer lap times we're seeing from a couple of other drivers. Carolage goes into P2 also in an 18.0. Oh my god. Interior does an 18.3 as well. So far, not a lot of drivers getting close. Fingers gets into an 18.3. We saw Sausage Joe go into a 17.9. We saw Aaron go there. Tom goes into a 1:17.7 on lap time. Lots of drivers crossing the line. But so far, nobody really that close to, nobody's been too close to Janus Mebom at the moment. On a 17.6, especially for medium tyres as well. So AZR really pushing out there, but Aaron's quite far, 4/10 behind his teammates, so 17.8 at the moment. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see. We've got a couple of other drivers making their way around. We've got Jacob on his way at the moment for EVR. It's still, to me, the last time I saw EVR in a Mercedes was back in Season 3. It's so weird seeing them back in the Silver Arrows. And across the line, it's P3 for Jacob. Not too bad. Getting him pretty close to that front. That's where he needs to be. I think we've got... Who else do we have crossing the line? We've got Jay Snowy coming round. He's making his way. We know PR last season had an impressive season in assists for being the smallest team on the grid last season. They had a very impressive season. And across the line, Jay Snowy goes into an 18.099. Sets it so they're in about the 1:18.0s for average lap time. But it's not actually been a great first run for many other drivers. Only 5 drivers, inside. As we saw Half Snow go there. But Gotto goes into P2 with a 1:17.666. Let's go. Okay. Why did I look at the chat for even like 10 seconds? Why did I even look at the chat? I do it to myself. It's terrible. Absolutely mental. But AERT and EVR both up there. Good averages at the moment. We got EVR in a 17.8 and we've got AERT in about a 17.7. So at the moment, some of them seeming to be quite close to each other. Who is currently on? Is anybody on a lap? No. Half Snow though, sneaking up into that 17.9. 6 drivers now have reached the 17.9s, but out of 16, the fact that 2 drivers don't even have a lap and the 8 others haven't even reached the 1:17s. Bit of a strange lobby so far. Bit slower this evening, pace-wise. But Janus Mebom going for a lap now on soft tyres. He's set a 17.641. He's 15 thousandths quicker than Gotto in second. But he'd set his lap on the medium, so let's see how he can do on the soft tyres. At the moment, he's very fast out there. I've got to say, he's incredibly fast out on track. Already quicker than Lobby 2 in relative pace. And up by another 600ths in the first sector. So he's going to be going towards 17.5. We know a 17.4 was the quickest in Lobby 2. We know it's about 17.3, 17.4, sitting around there for Lobby 1. So can Janus Mebom prove to be the first driver to actually set a quicker lap time than anyone else in Lobby 1? It's not been done before. He's up by 93,000, so he's not found so much time in that middle sector. Only up by 93,000. He's going to go to a mid 17.5, which is roughly what we saw in the second run's last lobby. So we're seeing quite similar times at the moment. So we'll have to see as Janus Mebom makes his way round. The soft tyres don't seem to be treating him that nicely. And coming up to the line, across the line, he only goes 38 thousandths quicker to a 1 minute 17.603. I'm not sure whether that was just pure luck where he's found that time on the mediums, but very interesting. Dark Ben is on a lap. He's done a 51.6 in that middle sector. Let's see how he does as he makes his way round to the final corner. He's got Matt behind him as well. Got the NXR driver of Matt, and we've also got the TDR driver of Interior and Dark Ben. And Ben crossed line. He goes P7. Getting up into that top 10. We can see Matt only went P13 when he crossed the line, but it's 2/10 would have gotten him P7 at the moment. So it's very, very close in lap times. Relatively, it's actually incredibly close in lap times from everyone. I'm looking around for who else is on a lap or starting a lap. We've got a lot of drivers who are just starting laps now. We don't seem to have a lot of drivers actually on laps. We've got Janus Mebom who's on his way in. We've got his teammate warming up tyres behind. We've then got both. We've got the Mercedes there, further behind. We've got Jay Snowy who's then behind him. Then we have Interior making his way round. I'm not sure who we've got next. Then we've got Matt. Then we have Matt. Then we have Ben behind him. Then we've got Carolage behind him. We just saw Ferrari go past. Who was that? That was Jonas who went past. P10 at the moment. VTX pushing to qualify at the moment will be on the slower side of the times, quite far out of reach at about an 18.1, 18.2 in lap time at the moment. But across the line, where does Jonas go? He improves by half a second to go to a 1 minute 17.567. Why did I even finish that? Oh my god. This week's going to be quite long. Okay. Jamie has failed to finish his lap, so a bit of disappointment there for himself. We saw Fishley go P8. Sausage Joe has just gone up to P6. So a couple of decent runs coming in from some others. We've got Tom, who's on his lap. We've got Aaron coming round. He's improved by about a quarter of a second. He jumps to P6. A lot more drives reaching those 17s. Half Snow now jumps to exact same time as Gotto, by the way. He's just jumped to the exact same lap time. Jay Snowy has gone into a 17.9. So over the top 10 now in that sort of area. Interior has failed to finish a lap. Oh my god. I just knew chat was just gonna... I just knew chat was gonna say something. But I give up, man. Finger's coming across the line. He goes P7 for Peck. So not too bad lap time wise. Not too bad. We've got Jacob who's heading around. He's gone slowly. So he's not pushing hard for it. So he's definitely not going to be pushing too hard for this. And yeah, Mike, I see you, man. Oh, this is... Okay. I think we've got Janus Mayboom on another lap. How has this man come out for a third run already? But yeah, Janus making his way round on another run. Let's see how is he going to do. He's down by a tenth in his first sector. He's really struggled to get past his medium time that he set in his first run. You know, he only improved by about almost 400ths on his soft, on the second run on the soft. So, whoa, and he's just pushed a bit too much, and that is an invalidation there. And that is him done for now. I think Gotto is doing another lap. He's going for it again. He's got enough fuel to do it, I do believe, so he should have enough fuel. We'll have to see whether he does actually have enough fuel by the end of it, because I know fuel goes very quickly. Down by 37 thousandths in his first sector. It's quite strange, though, to see. It's quite strange to see, though. Janus Mayboom really struggling lap time wise. He's really struggling lap time wise, and I think Gotto has just, yeah, he's backed off on his lap. So he's done. I think we've got Jacob. Is Jacob going again? No, he's not. He's going slowly. So basically, that is pretty much it. There's 4 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock in this final lobby. So that was kind of their second set of middle runs there. So they've got one last run to their session. Interesting, though, at the moment, AERT and EVR both very close when it comes down to times. It looks like basically at the moment they're the leading two in lap times at the moment. In there as well with VTX. So I'm really not sure who is going to qualify here. I would have to have a look after all of the lobbies, of course, and work it out, because at the moment it's looking very strange. Because they all look like they're within maybe a tenth or two of each other in average lap time. At the moment, though, I can say to you now, PR, TDR, and NXR, and I believe also PEC, are all outside. They're all currently outside of the window, which is about an 18.8, but looking closer now towards an 18.7 to qualify. As Fingers is the first driver out for these final runs, with 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. But yeah, this is very much... This is the last chance for these teams to improve. I'd say at the moment, PEC at the moment sits with probably the best chance over TDR, NXR, and PR to qualify. If Finjaz can find another 210... If Finjaz can reach the 17.6 and Jamie can reach an 18.8, they should be... Not an 18.8, I mean a 17.8, then they should qualify. They should qualify down at PEC, but they need to improve on this final round if they want to get that chance, because we're seeing quite a few teams. We're seeing at the moment, we're seeing AERT and EVR both sitting in the 17.6s. We know that OMB also are sitting in the 17.6s, so we've got at least 3 teams at the moment who are averaging at a 17.6. So, as it stands. So, those top 3 places are going to be difficult. But let's ride on board with Finjaz on his lap as he makes his way down towards Turn 1. DRS open. He's gone with the lowest fuel he can go with. Braking hard, heading into Turn 1. You've got to get this corner right. He locks up slightly. Not going to lose, hopefully, too much time. But, oh, massive slide on the rear. He's draining some of that battery to get up to speed, but he's definitely lost some time there. That's not what he needed. And he's already down by 48 thousandths in his first sector, so he's been able to recover it, but he's had to use some extra ERS That's not going to help him for the rest of his lap. He makes his way around Lesmo 1. Now into Lesmo 2. Not too bad. Not too bad so far. Coming up towards the end of the middle sector, he's up by 26,000, so it is an improvement, but it's not enough. He needs to find at least another 10th to help himself out, because out of those 23,000, he's only going to see about 11,500. But in the end, he's backed off, and Finjez is done with his qualifying. That is him over and finished now. As Dark Ben has also invalidated. Has he got enough fuel? Yes, he has, so he should be able to get another run in. Interior as well, seeing the same problem, but he doesn't have enough fuel to do another lap. So Interior looks like he is done. And you can see Finjez is in. Qualifying is now officially over, so Interior will be the first driver to end off qualifying and across the line. That's it. His teammate as well didn't make it to the line. And that is that. As you can see, I think we've just seen Jamie stay in P14. Sausage Joe improved. He didn't improve. He stays P9. Drivers struggling to improve at the moment. As Aaron improves very... Aaron doesn't improve either. I'm not seeing any improvements. Carolage going into P10. That's an improvement that he needed. Half Snow into a 17.475. He finds the lap time. That's what he needed. Matt comes across the line. He stays in his position. Janus Mayboom improves very slightly. It goes into P3. Tom stays in P6. That's him done. Jonas improves very slightly and goes P2. We can see Fishley is P11. Giotto! 1 minute 17.466 to end off qualifying. He gets it the last grasp, but in the end, it's still not better than the fastest time in Lobby 1. Absolutely crazy. But in the end, it is Gotto fastest, then Half Snow, Jonas Adam, Janus Mayboom, Jacob, Tom, Finjez, Aaron, Sausage Joe, Carolage, Fishley, Jay Snowy, Dark Ben, Jamie, Matt, and Interior. And that is the entire grid. But that is that. The big question that we've got now is, will we be having a rerun this evening? Will we be having a rerun? We're going to have to see. Because there's been some conversation about a rerun. So yeah, that is that. So sadly, that is that. There isn't going to be a rerun for SKG. Sadly, there is no rerun. It's just unlucky. You know, it is very much unlucky. I've got nothing else to really say. It is just unlucky for that to happen, but it does happen. So yeah, so that is that, and we are done for the qualifiers. SKG won't be receiving a so they won't be receiving a rerun. But that is that for in the end, that is that. And so, in the end, that is the qualifiers over and done. So, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, click on the notification bell to know about all the content we're going to be doing over Season 6. Make sure to join us on Saturday for the no assist qualifiers. We come to Monza once again. Only 2 lobbies. Only 2 lobbies. For no assists. 11 teams, only 2 lobbies, 7 PM and 8 PM. So, we'll be waiting to see. But in the end, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be back on Saturday. But I'll leave you with a question. Make sure to tell me in the comments below the stream, once it's ended, who you think has come out on top in the qualifiers. Make sure to also follow us on Twitter at FRLT F1. But with that, thank you guys so much, and I will see you very soon. Goodbye.
Feel like we're falling away. Maybe I just need to feel nothing to make it easier to turn away and leave. Maybe we're fan and flame. So why do I keep holding out my hand to get burned? I don't wanna clash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away, away, yeah. I don't wanna crash anymore. I can hear the ghosts in the walls. It's telling me to run away.
Here in Monza, and it is a race opening victory for Eve. I'm still battling with Kuba.
You said you don't know me well, but I'm your angel in white. I'll be close if you come. I'll be just behind you. You're not on the list, but I can get you inside. Use your mind, listen to my voices, I'll guide you. You give yourself over, yeah, you don't wanna fight. If you do, I'm gonna bid you all.
But he's gone wide! He's going incredible!
Take a trip to win, alright. And if you don't trust it, hold it up to the light. So quiet, try to hide it. If a new thought formed, we would swallow it down. Empty stares, never question the illusion. If you play alone, they will leave you to drown. Stand up, 'cause we are the movement. Don't stop, straight into the dark. Wake up, 'cause this is the